Hello and welcome to the February 23rd, 2025 episode of Nick's News. I am your host, Nick, brought to you by Some Budget Studios. That's right, I'm putting money into this project of ours. We're live every Sunday, and I thank you all so much for tuning in or catching the replay on the Nick's News Facebook page and YouTube page. That's right, we are simulcasting between Facebook and YouTube, but if Facebook keeps giving me problems like this, it's just gonna be YouTube, because I'm getting tired of it. This is a program dedicated to bringing good news to counter all the bad news that we're bombarded with on a daily basis, with the hope of bringing a little bit of joy back into the world. Several of our articles are pulled from sites like goodnewsnetwork.org and goodgoodgood.co, but we appreciate everything sent in by you, the viewers. Hello, Queen of Nerds. Hello, Rebecca. Hello, Cassidy. I am sorry for our late start once again, but once again, just like a couple of weeks ago, Facebook decided it did not want to recognize my streaming software, whereas YouTube has no problem linking up with OBS. Apparently, Facebook has all the problems, so we were left high and dry with me trying to troubleshoot at the last moment to get the stream going, so it was great. It's okay. Hey, Will. I had to break out the emergency chocolate. It was so stressful. So, News Brew. Our News Brew for tonight is going to be a very nice little brew from Hoppin Frog. This is Barrel-Aged Frosted Frog Christmas Ale by Hoppin Frog Brewery. It's an 8.6% ABV barrel-aged Christmas ale that apparently is loaded with cinnamon, ginger, and nutmeg. And we may be a few months late, given that this is a Christmas ale and we're into the end of February, but I like to think that Nick's News is the site that keeps on giving, so cheers. Hey, Joey. We don't need the Balisong bottle opener because it's a can. I just needed to blow the gain on the audio. And it is a Christmas ale, so we have made the triumphant return of the Tulip, my Harpoon Special Edition Tulip. And we'll get into the theatrics of a 20-second pour. Beautiful Belgian ale colors. Kind of just like a toffee brown. A lot of head. Do 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 do. Wow, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Smells like Christmas. Holy crap. The nutmeg and the cinnamon and the ginger are just all in the nose, so I'm looking forward to that. Queen of the Nerds was about to say beautiful color. Yes, it is. That is pretty. It is, Producer Donna. All right, shout-outs. We've got a new one. Family Craft Farm is a cutflower, microgreens, and produce farm located in Ravenna, Michigan. On the farm, they're all about I did spell it right. They're all about cultivating a sustainable lifestyle that they're proud to share with their growing family and the community. They believe in providing high-quality, clean, unique products designed with sustainability and quality, and only partner with companies who put the earth and people's health first for their products. There are links in the description for their website and their Facebook page, so to Family Craft Farm, cheers. That is a solid Christmas beer. Facebook subtitles is having fun with my song. I can't wait to watch that in the replay. So, more bad news with Meta. We're trying to get... Oh, and hello to Grayson. We're trying to get all the bad news out of the way, I guess. So, it looks like it's time to play another round of how is Meta going to screw over creators now? Not a fun game, but here's what's up. Meta has decided they will no longer be hosting live broadcasts longer than 30 days. So after June 20th, the entire Nick's News archive on Facebook is going kaput. They're basically going to clear out all of our older videos, which is really trash. Luckily for us, and good news, we have backup sites like our YouTube page, which I may be promoting more heavily in the near future, if just because of reliability, and they're not pulling the same crap. So make sure you check our YouTube page, link in the description, for archived episodes if you want to have a good laugh at some of the older stuff we did, or just want to go back to some of the older broadcasts and the news that we presented there. We greatly appreciate it. It's another great site, and we like taking full advantage of it now that we have it. So yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can stay up to date with get notifications for new uploads, for the live broadcasts, shorts, and you can easily find our archive of past episodes. Hey, Julie. Aw, Castle says hi. Very cool. So yeah, we just might be... Yeah, the shorts should remain. I did skip over that. So like shorts and reels and stuff is going to remain, it looks like. But all of our live broadcasts are going to get cleared out after 30 days, which is real trash. We might just be pushing YouTube a bit harder in the weeks and months to come. Yeah. News quote, "The secret of getting ahead is getting started." That is a quote from Samuel Langhorne Clemens, known by the pen name of Mark Twain, who was an American writer, a humorist, and an essayist, and was praised as the greatest humorist of the United States had ever produced. Again, the secret of getting ahead is getting started. Thank you, Mark Twain. Julie on Facebook, sigh, we can't have nice things. No, we really can't, and it is annoying. Bug update, again. I heard a noise. Someone might be awake back there. Sad news. Droopy, the mantis, is no longer with us. On Saturday, the poor little guy crossed over the Rainbow Bridge. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if he got super stressed when we moved him into the new home or if he had a lingering illness. But Droopy, you will be missed, you little warrior. To you, cheers. Hey, Charlie. Hey, Ben. Yes, more of the Zuckster's handiwork. And Sue wants to kill me. So the great game is over. And against all odds, the Kurgan, the last remaining member of Madeline Pryor's brood, has been dubbed Mantis MacLeod and shall be known henceforth as such. Everyone else is doing well, so nothing else to report. However, if you do look behind me, the tank situation has changed up accordingly. Right here at the start, we've got Elmira, who's still nice and asleep. We've got the infamous Sue. Ripley has moved right back to where they were before, and that is going to be a bigger tank soon, because I will be doing a rehousing for Ripley and building them a new, more tropical environment that they're more used to. And last but not least is Mantis MacLeod. Hi, Kendra. So, apparently the warnings didn't go off right because Facebook was garbage. So I apologize for that. Facebook is definitely just not doing any good for us lately. Frantically Googles for tiny bagpipes. I really heavily misted the tanks, so it's hard to see if he's crawling around in there. But I'm sure he'll make his grand entrance and start banging on the glass soon if he is really out and about. All right, let's get into our good news broadcast. And our broadcast is broken up into 4 major categories, and those categories again are science and technology, health and medicine, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals, and wholesome notes, the really nice touchy-feely articles we like to end on. So we're going to start in Category 1, Science and Technology. And a trench coat. And we called this first article Rebuilding Blocks. I'm going to copy and paste this into the chat if y'all want to read along. bug-sized kilt and a tiny sword. Fantastic. Innovative machine recycles rubble into bricks to build homes for displaced Ukrainians. This was posted to goodgoodgood.co on February 21st, 2025 by Cameron Baker. Since Russia first invaded Ukraine in 2023, millions of people have been displaced from their homes, with buildings destroyed and an estimated 3.6 million people still internally displaced from their permanent residences. Keeping them safe and housed is a major challenge. Australia-based nonprofit Mobile Crisis Construction, MCC, has stepped in to help rebuild. MCC sets up mobile block factories in disaster and war zones, which help accelerate building and help people return to safety and normalcy. In these factories, a mill crushes up rubble like old walls, glass, and debris and presses it into recycled interlinking blocks, reminiscent of a colorful Lego brick. In fact, MCC calls them Lego bricks. Using a little bit of clay, cement, and water, and waiting a few days to cure, the blocks can then be used to rapidly build shelter and critical infrastructure. The concept is to recycle and use what's there. Nick Matik, one of MCC's founders, told Fast Company. A single machine can make up to 8,000 bricks in a day, producing enough to construct the exterior structure of 10 homes every 3 days. MCC says the bricks are earthquake, fire, and cyclone resistant and include slots to help reinforce the structures during construction. The interlocking shape of the blocks makes them easy to stack together, too. Unskilled labor can put these walls together with very limited training, Matic added. Matic's background in crisis response, paired with co-founder Blake Stacy's engineering savvy, made them a perfect match. And when they realized the war in Ukraine would require creative long-term support, they knew they had something special on their hands. You should do what you can in life, Stacy said in a video for the organization. Making bricks and building walls. That's my thing. If you're a doctor, you do your thing. But for me, I make bricks, so that's my thing. Each machine costs about $70,000 to $80,000 to build, and the ongoing war garnered the support needed to get their operation up and running. One of their mobile factories is set up in a shipping container outside of Kyiv, with a small generator running operations, even when the power grid is down in the area. Through a collaboration with a local nonprofit, the project has helped to rebuild several townhouses. In the summer of 2024, MCC announced a second mobile factory was headed to Ukraine as well. It's very simple construction, all in a row, Matic told Fast Company. It's sort of a test case. There's no upper limit on how much Ukraine needs. MCC hopes their technology proves to be replicable in other areas recovering from disaster. The UN might send in food, water, and temporary shelters, Matic said, and then we could have our machines roll in as a second phase response to rebuild the area. That is really cool. To mobile crisis construction for going out to Ukraine and constructing new homes and shelters for the displaced population with their Lego bricks. Cheers. In the YouTube chat, Mona says she tries not to look at Sue, just not a bug person. Mona, it's entirely understandable, and like producer Donna said, he is a beast. He is a small monster. All right, that's going to get us out of science and technology. We're going to move on to health and medicine. And our first article here for health and medicine is a good one. It was sent in by Eliza, and it is a fuck cancer article. So thank you, Eliza, for sending this in. I will copy and paste this into the chat if y'all want to read along. mRNA vaccines show promise in pancreatic cancer in early trial. This was posted to NBC News. It was posted on February 19th of 2025 by Caitlin Sullivan. Personalized mRNA vaccines show promise as pancreatic cancer treatment, a phase 1 clinical trial published Wednesday in Nature found. Fewer than 13% of people diagnosed with pancreatic cancer live for more than 5 years, making it one of the deadliest types of cancer. That is in part because around 90% of cases are diagnosed when the disease is already advanced. Pancreatic cancer cells also spread to other parts of the body much earlier on than in other cancers, which typically spread only when the original tumors are large. The disease typically doesn't cause symptoms until later stages, and there isn't a routine screening for this cancer, such as a mammogram or a colonoscopy. Once it's detected, there are few effective treatments. Although we have made significant progress in improving outcomes in many of the other cancers with newer waves of cancer treatments, these have not had much of an impact in pancreatic cancer, said Dr. Vinod Balachandran, director of the Olayan Center for Cancer Vaccines at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, who led the trial. Survival rate has remained about 10% despite our best current treatments. That highlights the desperate need for more options, he said. Before mRNA vaccines became widely used for COVID, researchers had already been developing the technology for cancer treatment, and we've talked about a few of them on previous Nick's News episodes. This version of the vaccine teaches a person's immune system to recognize and attack tumors, turning the immune system into a cancer-fighting machine. mRNA technology is currently being explored for melanoma and colorectal cancer and other solid tumors. To be effective, mRNA cancer vaccines have to produce a lot of T cells, a type of immune cell that protects the body against invaders. These T cells also need to last a long time in cancer patients and retain their ability to detect and fight off cancer cells. While this is a relatively straightforward feat when it comes to viruses, teaching a person's T cells to fight non-foreign cells that their body itself made is much more difficult. For pancreatic cancer, the task is monumental. For a vaccine to teach the body to recognize tumors, there have to be targets on those tumor cells that are unique, meaning they don't appear elsewhere in the body. Since tumors are created from mutations, these mutations, expressed as proteins on the surface of the cancer cells, serve as the targets. Pancreatic cancers typically do not have many targets to choose from. It's been a widespread belief that this lack of mutations, which serve as targets for an mRNA cancer vaccine, would make pancreatic cancer a poor choice for the therapy. But the new study showed that the assumption may be wrong. The trial was a longer follow-up to an initial 2023 trial that first tested the efficacy of the vaccines in a subset of people with pancreatic cancer. Phase 1 clinical trials are very early stages of research and are meant to determine whether a certain treatment is safe and shows promise of efficacy. The new trial included 16 patients with operable pancreatic cancer, meaning a surgeon can remove the tumors. This is a relatively rare occurrence in pancreatic cancer. Only about 20% of pancreatic cancers are operable, which is the only treatment that can stop this type of cancer. Chemotherapy, radiation, and immunotherapies can shrink tumors or keep them from growing, but are not considered cures. And in an even smaller percentage of people, surgery is possible without first shrinking the tumors with chemotherapy, Wolfman said. The cancer returns about half the time. Balachandran and his team followed the 16 patients in the trial for up to 4 years. The participants first had their tumors removed sometime between 2019 and 2021. Then the team used genetic material from each person's tumors to design personalized mRNA vaccines they hoped would teach the patient's immune systems to attack their cancer cells. In addition to the vaccine, all 16 people were also treated with the current standard of care: surgery, chemotherapy, and immunotherapy drugs like atezolizumab. Atezolizumab. Say that 5 times fast. Half of the people in the study, 8 of the participants, responded to the vaccine, producing T cells that targeted their tumors. The other half didn't respond to the vaccine. One of the most important aspects of using a person's immune system to fight their cancer is ensuring the response, in this case, the cancer-fighting T cells, have longevity. That way, they stay in the body, fighting off cancer cells that pop up, rather than only working for a short amount of time. In the people in the trial who did mount a response, the vaccine would give their cancer-fighting T cells an average lifespan of nearly 8 years, the researchers estimated. They believe that about 20% of the T cells could potentially survive and function for decades. The longer the T cells survive, the better to protect against the cancer's return. There it is. Early trials are meant to test whether or not the treatment is feasible. In this case, if an mRNA vaccine for pancreatic cancer could produce durable T cells. The findings suggest that it can. However, it's still unknown whether these T cells will extend a person's life, and if so, by how much. That is a task for the next phase of trials. Just 2 of the patients who had a response to the vaccine had their cancer returned during the 3-year follow-up, compared to 7 of the 8 who did not respond to the vaccine treatments. You have to take this with a little perspective. This is not treating hundreds of thousands of people, said Dr. Brian Wolpin, director of the Gastrointestinal Cancer Center at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. The fact that they were able to use a vaccine to generate a response to new mutations that come up in the tumors, and then were able to show that this subsists, is promising. Because pancreatic cancer cells are adept at spreading early on, some organs may be harboring undetectable cancer cells that don't show up on scans, meaning these tumors aren't treated. With vaccines, the immune system may be able to kill these cancer cells, as well as new ones that pop up. Dr. Shubham Pant, a professor of gastrointestinal medical oncology at the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center, said, "Very early on in pancreatic cancer development, cells can escape and set up shop somewhere else, in the liver or in the lungs. They may be quietly sitting in those other organs and then come back," he said. Despite the caveat of being a small group of patients and a very early trial, Pant said the results are encouraging. Other research teams, including scientists at MD Anderson, are working on off-the-shelf mRNA vaccines for pancreatic cancer, meaning the vaccines have a target that is common in all pancreatic cancer tumors, rather than a personalized target based on a person's individual tumor. About 90% of pancreatic cancer cases include a mutation called CRAS, meaning non-personalized vaccines, which could be produced in bulk and would not require a piece of the person's tumor to create, could potentially be another option down the road. These vaccines are also currently in very early stages of research, so lots of different cancer vaccines in the pipeline. This gives us a little more confidence that once you get a T-cell response that it could be durable, it's not a shock response, Pant said. If we see this response stand up in bigger trials, that's really significant. That is really cool. To everybody working on an mRNA pancreatic cancer cell vaccine, and to Eliza for sending in this article. Cheers. To high-five the cam again. Something happened with the camera, I guess. Let me know if that cleared it up. Producer Donna in the YouTube chat. Could I have warned him about the drug name coming up? I could have, but where's the fun in that? Thanks, Producer Donna. Thanks. Oh, let me find the top of that section. Double check some stuff real quick. Okay. All right, we'll move on with the next article. This next one we called Welcome to the Healthcare Kiosk, and I will copy and paste these into the chat if y'all want to read along. Nope, didn't work. So I'm guessing that the camera's not focused on me right now again. Looks like it just snapped to me again. I'm going to keep working on it, and let me do that one more time. I saw it snap. We're still trying to figure out what it's targeting. I might have to go in and take off autofocus and just have it focus. Which is an option, but we're still playing around with our new tech a few months in here. All right. Looks like I've got those pasted. High-tech healthcare phone booth provides street-side care to homeless people in need. This was posted to goodgoodgood.co on February 19th, 2025 by Cameron Baker. If I am showing up as fuzzy to anybody in YouTube or Facebook, let me know. Or let me know what you think of our camera quality. It's weird. I'm just fuzzy. I mean, I am a fuzzy person. I have a fuzzy personality. So just let me know how it's looking in the chats while we get into this article. In Tampa, Florida, those needing healthcare might be able to ditch the crinkly paper on an exam table and opt for something a bit more futuristic. YouTube is much better. Man, YouTube, the winner. Strange. OnMed, a hybrid healthcare company, is rolling out its care stations in cities across the country, including Tampa. Looks fine on my end. Okay, thank you, Cassidy, for that update. We'll just keep on rolling. These indoor structures are referred to as a clinic in a box and can be installed anywhere where there is a power outlet. Each station, which resembles a large phone booth or covered bus station, is an 8 by 11 foot pod that includes thermal imaging, medical devices, and a camera to speak with a telehealth provider. The idea is to allow people to have real-time consultations with licensed healthcare providers via video chat, while still including the comprehensive vital exams of a traditional in-person doctor's visit. Tampa General Hospital partnered with the city and Catholic Charities Diocese of St. Petersburg to bring an OnMed care station to Tampa Hope, the first homeless shelter in the country to offer this kind of care to its 235 residents. Between the high cost of services and struggles to find transportation, getting to the doctor can be a real problem for our homeless community, Tampa Mayor Jane Castor said in a statement. These care stations allow Tampa Hope residents to achieve quality care without having to travel. The interior of each station resembles a small doctor's office, but instead of a nurse in scrubs, visitors are greeted with a screen. Once they hit start, they will be instantly connected to an OnMed certified nursing assistant who walks patients through a quick intake process, followed by a live virtual visit. Each station includes medical-grade diagnostic tools for the clinician to review real-time vital signs, as well as high-definition thermal imaging cameras to examine the patient's skin, eyes, ears, and throat, to diagnose infections and other conditions as needed. I do like the machine because you can go in at any time you want to and take your vitals, 65-year-old Sam Harris, a resident at Tampa Hope, told Health News Florida. There's a blood pressure machine, there's a camera so you can see the practitioner, and they will call the ambulance for you if your vitals are way out of whack. Providers can offer a diagnosis and treatment plan for every patient, including recommended medications, referrals, and e-prescriptions. Electronic medical records are stored securely to share with the patient and other providers too. The station is soundproof and private, locking to keep others out until a patient's visit has ended. Once each patient leaves, the station automatically runs a sanitation cycle to prepare for the next visitor. That is awesome! Beyond Tampa, OnMed has seen success with this model. In Connecticut, one location sits outside a Stop and Shop in Killingly, and another is located next to a traditional healthcare clinic. Medical insurance policies for each care station location differ based on each community's needs, according to Hartford Healthcare's Chief Integration Officer Deborah Hayes. One of Connecticut's locations requires insurance, while the other is insurance optional. The company also has live locations in Texas, Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina, and more than 20 other states have planned locations in the works. In Georgia, OnMed has supplemented the efforts of Auburn University's Rural Health Initiative, which has implemented care stations in a number of countries, providing free care to visitors. Oh, counties, not countries. Counties, sorry. Tuskegee University also opened an OnMed care station for free to students, faculty, and staff. The school's Center for Rural Health and Economic Equity, however, has also allowed the station to be utilized for free by residents of Macon County. While the cost of these stations varies in their respective communities, leaders agree that their benefits are well worth the investment for the communities in need. In Tampa, officials report that there has been a 50% reduction in emergency calls from Tampa Hope since the care station has been available. If you think about how much it costs to take someone to the emergency room, taking up the time of the paramedics, the transportation, not to mention the medical care, this OnMed will pay for itself in short order, Mayor Castor said. For OnMed, the success among Tampa's homeless population could pave the way for expanded healthcare access to people facing homelessness and medical disparities in cities nationwide. This partnership is an exemplary model for cities across America to observe and emulate as our country continues to struggle with the issue of homelessness, OnMed CEO Karthik Ganesh said. Our focus is to find the bright spot where healthcare innovation, kindness, and compassion collide. We commend the city of Tampa for stepping up to acknowledge the importance of the preventative and ongoing healthcare needs of its homeless population. That is really cool. To OnMed for producing care stations and beginning to roll them out across the country to give good health care to folks most in need. Cheers. And that's another good one. Producer Donna says, so cool, especially for people who work when doctors' offices are traditionally open. There we go. All right, so that's going to get us out of health and medicine. We're going to move into category 3, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals. And this article was sent in by Eliza. Eliza, thank you very much. We called it Scuttled for the Scuttlers. And I'm going to copy and paste this into the chat if you all want to read along. That's another big one. You wouldn't have to take a day off of work just to refill meds prescriptions. Historic ocean liner departs Philadelphia on voyage to become the world's largest artificial reef. This was posted to the AP News, and it was posted on February 19th of 2025 by Bruce Shipkowski, which there's some irony in there given it's a ship article, but let's get in. The historic aging ocean liner that a Florida county plans to turn into the world's largest artificial reef departed from South Philadelphia's Delaware River waterfront on Wednesday, marking the opening segment of its final voyage. The SS United States, a 1,000-foot vessel that shattered the transatlantic speed record on its maiden voyage in 1952, is being towed to Mobile, Alabama for planned prep work before officials eventually sink it off of Florida's Gulf Coast. The move comes about 4 months after the conservancy that oversees the ship and its landlord resolved a years-old rent dispute. Officials initially planned to move the vessel last November, but that was delayed due to concerns from the U.S. Coast Guard that the ship wasn't stable enough to make the trip. Officials in Okaloosa County on Florida's coastal panhandle hope it will become a barnacle-encrusted standout among the county's more than 500 artificial reefs, and a signature diving attraction that could generate millions of dollars annually in local tourism spending for scuba shops, charter fishing boats, and hotels. Officials have said the deal to buy the ship could eventually cost more than $10 million. The lengthy process of cleaning, transporting, and sinking the vessel is expected to take at least 1.5 years. The SS United States was once considered a beacon of American engineering, doubling as a military vessel that could carry thousands of troops. Its maiden voyage broke the transatlantic speed record in both directions when it reached an average speed of 36 knots, or just over 41 miles per hour, or 66 kilometers per hour, if you haven't landed people on the moon. The Associated Press reported from aboard the ship. The ship crossed the Atlantic Ocean in 3 days, 10 hours, and 40 minutes, besting the RMS Queen Mary's time by 10 hours. To this day, the SS United States holds the transatlantic speed record for an ocean liner. That's awesome. The ship will forever symbolize our nation's strength, innovation, and resilience, said Susan Gibbs, president of the SS United States Conservancy and granddaughter of the naval architect who designed the vessel. We wish her fair winds and following seas on her historic journey to her new home. The SS United States became a reserve ship in 1969 and later bounced to various private owners who hoped to redevelop it. But they eventually found their plans too expensive or poorly timed, leaving the vessel looming for years on South Philadelphia's Delaware River waterfront. And about in a year and a half, it will now become the largest artificial reef in the world. So, to everybody involved with getting the SS United States, a 1,000-foot vessel that set the new record for transatlantic speed, to its final resting place to become an artificial reef, and to Eliza for sending in that article. Cheers. All right, that's all we've got for flora and fauna, so we are going to get into category 4, the wholesome notes. And this first one was sent in to us by Charlie. So Charlie, thank you very much. We called it Running for Resources. And I'm going to copy and paste this in the chat if y'all want to read along. Kent County deputy to run 40 miles for families of veterans and fellow first responders. This was posted to Fox 17 West Michigan News on February 23rd, 2020. Wait a second. This article says it was posted on February 23rd of 2024. We might need to double check this article. I'm pretty sure this article is up to date, and that's just wrong, but interesting. It was written by Darren Bauer. Let me see. Hey, camera. Hey, camera. There we go. Deputy Matt Garbarino with the Kent County Sheriff's Office loves to run. Excuse me. He also loves supporting families of fallen service members and first responders. So, to raise awareness, he decided to run 40 miles from Grand Haven to Cascade Township for his cause. I'm running for Folds of Honor, Deputy Garbarino told Fox 17. Folds of Honor is a nonprofit that provides scholarships for children of service members and first responders who are killed in the line of duty. Charlie in the YouTube, or in the Facebook chat, he definitely ran this past weekend, though. So that's interesting. Huh. Well, I mean, good on him. So we're keeping this up to date, then. They were posting about it in Grand Haven Informed. Nice. Let's see. I'll reread that part. Folds of Honor is a nonprofit that provides scholarships for children of service members and first responders who are killed in the line of duty. He ran along Lake Michigan Drive Friday with an American flag on his shoulder, knowing that his endurance will be worth it. I've done charity runs in the past to raise awareness and money. They're doing a gala Saturday to raise money for the Michigan Folds of Honor chapter. So I said, how about I tie endurance running into doing something to raise awareness for this, he explained. Running 40 miles in one day is hard, but he says he likes the challenge. I'm 55 years old, so I actually have arthritis in both knees, which is that's why I'm wearing these sleeves on my knees right here. But you know, one part of it is you gotta move. You gotta get the body moving, and I also believe in challenging myself, he added. While running, Garbarino says he thinks about his son, who soon will be a naval officer. I think about him and every family who have to do the same thing. God forbid they don't come home. For me, my son, who is in the Navy ROTC, he'll be commissioning as an officer. He's looking to be in aviation. You start now realizing the commitment, the sacrifice, and the risk, he said. I look up to him. He's my rock, you know, watching him wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning every single day, putting in the miles during the training, icing the legs, and nutrition, hydration. It's a lot of work. He's put in the time to get here and do it, his son, Matt Garbarino Jr., added. Current article? Current article. Did you send me the current article? Is that what you're implying, Producer Donna? Did you post it somewhere? Because if you send it to me on Discord, I have the Discord closed. Link above. Link above. I don't see it. Something's wrong. Oh, wow. It's not showing the link. I think Cassidy got us. Yeah, I think Cassidy got us. Let me take a look at this. Yep, Cassidy got us. All right, let me copy and paste this into the YouTube chat since Cassidy got us on the Facebook side. I mean, I'll post it again in Facebook too. Thank you very much, Cassidy and producer Donna, for that catch. This one was posted to woodtv.com 2 days ago, so on the 21st. Father-son duo run 30 miles for Folds of Honor. For the second year in a row, Reserve Kent County Sheriff's Deputy Matt Garbarino is running to raise money for Folds of Honor. Last year, I connected with the Folds of Honor team and learned about what their mission was. It really aligned with me being a reserve deputy with Kent County and my son going into the military. Learning about what they do, which is raising scholarship money for families who either lost someone in the line of duty or have been disabled for both military and first responders, Garbarino said. His son, Matthew Garbarino, will be commissioning as a naval officer in flight school with ROTC this spring. He joined his dad on the 30-mile run that started at American Dunes Golf Course in Grand Haven at 8 a.m. The pair was escorted by the Kent County Sheriff's Office and other police agencies to the J.W. Marriott in downtown Grand Rapids, the location of Saturday's gala for Folds of Honor. I'm really inspired that my son can come back from school and join me for this to support what I'm doing and actually come out and run some of this with me, Matt Garbarino said. The pair hopes that the run will be unifying and bring awareness to the charity. We're carrying an American flag. My hope is that it's a unifying thing. We're in a very divisive time, it seems. Hopefully we can all agree that we all want to have a free life and live the best life we can. Under that flag, we're able to do that. So I hope that it just brings unity, and then second from that, to ask, what are you running for? So we can talk about the Folds of Honor charity and what that's about, Matt Garbarino said. Saturday's gala fundraiser featured Medal of Honor recipient SP5 James McClugan, and a scholarship recipient. The tickets are still available for the gala and could be purchased. A silent auction was also being held. That is cool. Thank you both for the catch. We've also got the MSN one. I don't think I'm going to read it again. Okay, it looks like this is just... Oh yeah, this is all the same text from the Wood TV article. So let me open that up again so I get the names right. Where is it? There it is. To Deputy Matt Garbarino and his son, and to Eliza and Cassidy and producer Donna for getting us those articles, and to Folds of Honor, cheers. Not Eliza, Charlie. Charlie, I'm so sorry. I don't know why it said Eliza. I apologize. Man, I'm all over the place. That darn start we had got me all frazzled. All right. Cheers. Last article of the night. We called it, Don't Be a Dick. Tip Your Driver. And I'm going to copy and paste this into the chats if you all want to read along. Many of you might have heard about this. I know it went viral. And producer Donna, you might need to hit us again with the total or put it on my reader so that I get the right amount when we get to that part. A pizza driver got a $2 tip in a snowstorm, so people raised thousands for him. This was posted on today.com, and it was on February 3rd, 2025 by Joseph Lamore. A pizza driver's meager tip has snowballed into something much bigger. On January 11th, Lieutenant Richard Craig posted a video to TikTok, where he is known as Officer Craig, showing his interaction with Connor Stefanoff, a 20-year-old delivery driver for Rockstar Pizza in Brownsburg, Indiana. The video, which starts by showing blizzardy conditions on a snow-covered street, highlighted the employee's work ethic in the inclement weather. "You delivering a pizza, bro?" Craig asks Stefanoff, who replies in the affirmative. The delivery man trudges through the snow in sneakers and sweatpants. Stefanoff points to the distance, down a snowy hill, to indicate where he had to park and walk from. Did you get a good tip? Craig asked Stefanoff. $2, Stefanoff replied. Are you kidding me? Craig said. Man, cold-blooded. $2? Look at this man. This man walked through hell and high water to deliver a pizza. Stefanoff tells Craig that the full tip for the $40 pizza order was $2.15, then continues on his way up the hill to serve his customer. In a follow-up video, Craig says he couldn't let Stefanoff go without contributing to his tip with the money he had on him, $15. Because that's the right thing to do, Craig says before showing viewers the large houses in the neighborhood. It's not like these people didn't have the money to tip that young man. Absolutely insane. Do better, folks. The comment section was incensed at the tiny tip that Stefanoff got in return for his efforts. A neighborhood like that tipping $2, wrote one user on TikTok. If you're coming out in the snow for me, I'm giving you at least a $20 tip for one pizza. Seriously, unacceptable to tip $2 for delivery even if it's sunny and 80 degrees, commented another. It was terrible, Stefanoff, who lives with his grandmother and borrows her car to deliver pizza, tells Today.com. There was no grip on the roads at all, and it was cold and snowing, nonstop. But he says not delivering the pizza didn't even occur to him that day, regardless of the tip. Craig didn't want his support for Stefanoff to be limited to the contents of his own wallet, so he started a GoFundMe on January 12th. Support Rockstar Pizza Driver's dedication, hoping to raise a few $100s for the pizza driver. Rockstar Pizza also commended Stefanoff in a Facebook post and shared the fundraising link. Its owner also wrote a clarifying note. At no point did we force anyone to come to work or deliver. There is no pressure or implication that there will be repercussions for not coming to work due to the weather. If I could raise $500 for this kid, that's enough to make me forget some of the bad things that people had done, you know? Craig tells Today.com. The next day I checked it at like 2 o'clock, and it was at about $1,500. I'm like, holy shit, I was just blown away. In the 3 weeks since Craig started the GoFundMe, it has raised over $41,000 from nearly 2,000 donations. And I believe producer Donna is going to post for me what the current total is. $45,215. So originally, $2.15 tip has blown up to $45,000, $45,215. I found out around Sunday morning, Stefanoff says, adding that when his grandmother told him about the fundraiser, he didn't think much of it until he saw the donations racking up. I was like, oh, this is real. Stefanoff says he plans on buying a car with the money so he doesn't have to use his grandmother's, and he hopes to help with her bills too. If I still got some left over, hopefully college, Stefanoff says, adding that he wants to major in either history or business. Reflecting on the outpouring of support for Stefanoff, Craig says good things come to good people who do the right thing. To Lieutenant Richard Craig for starting the GoFundMe for Connor Stefanoff, who works for Rockstar Pizza. Man, y'all are both heroes. Cheers. Link to the GoFundMe is in the description. That's crazy. Well, that's it for us tonight. That was 6 great articles. We thank you all for the ones you sent in, too. Those were real bangers. So, thank you all again for tuning in or catching the replay on the Knicks News Facebook page or YouTube page. Again, as we stated in the earlier part, Facebook is getting rid of saving live episodes. So, for more than 30 days. So if you want to check out our older episodes, hit up our YouTube, where all of our older episodes are archived, and we also cross-stream. We're live every Sunday. You'll catch our next episode on March 2nd of 2025. We encourage participation, so if you feel inclined, by all means, you can post suggestions for news brews, for shout-outs, for news quotes, and especially good news articles that we can present on future episodes. If you send in articles, we appreciate We appreciate if you can spread them out across our categories, and those categories, again, are science and technology, health and medicine, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals, and wholesome notes, the really nice touchy-feely articles that we like to end on. You can message us on Facebook or Instagram, or email us at somebudgetstudios@gmail.com. Links are in the descriptions or on the pages. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment on our Facebook and YouTube pages so that we can get the good news out into the algorithm. I'm never going to tell you what to do, but I thank you all so much for every like, every subscription, every comment. All of that just builds up Nick's News and gets it further out, helps it spread. And it has been spreading. Our numbers are going up. And I can't thank you all enough for helping with that. So from the bottom of my heart, thanks. As always, thank you again. I love you all. Have a great night. And I will play us out.